Let me say something that might sting a little. You're not missing him. You're missing you, the version of you that got to exist when he was around, the one that felt safe enough to be soft. You're not stuck on him. You're stuck on how you actually got to feel. And now that he's gone, you're scared that you won't feel that way again. And what if I told you that the version of you isn't necessarily gone? She's just been waiting for you to make space for her again. By the way, what the fuck is up? I haven't been behind the camera in 3 weeks, and I'm actually excited to tell you about my development this week. And let me say something that might sting a little. You're not missing him. You're missing you, the version of you that got to exist when he was around, the one that felt safe enough to be soft. You're not stuck on him. You're stuck on how you actually got to feel. And now that he's gone, you're scared that you won't feel that way again. And what if I told you that the version of you isn't necessarily gone? She's just been waiting for you to make space for her again. Welcome to Vibes N Affirmations, where there's a thin line between crashing out and keeping it all together. I'm your host, G, your favorite voice of reason and sometimes chaos. And today, we're talking about the grief that no one really talks about or prepares you for. The grief of losing the version of yourself you got to be around someone else. Let's get into it. You ever had someone enter your life and suddenly it felt like your nervous system could actually relax? Like you finally got to be soft? That's what I've been trying to unpack myself. Because sometimes we want relationships that weren't even the healthiest. Not because the person was the love of our lives, but because of who we got to be when we were with them. That's deep. I realized I wasn't mourning him. I was mourning how I got to feel around him. And it was maybe never even about him. It was about the space that he unknowingly created for me. A space where I didn't have to be the strong one, where I could cry without apologizing, where I could talk slow, deeply breathe, just be myself and have my guard off and just exist. And once you feel that, that should be hard to let go. So I want to talk about that. That's really the part that no one likes to talk about or nobody really talks about. No, not all grief is about a person. Sometimes you're grieving the emotional security that they made you feel, even if everything else was rocking. That sense of safety, of softness, of being held, especially when you're used to being the one who holds everyone else. That's why so many people go back. That's why closure feels incomplete, because what you're really craving isn't them, it's you in that state, that unlocked, unguarded version of you. And let's be real, how often do we get that? Especially in a world that praises the unbothered, the savage, the self-sufficiency, the I'm independent. So when you finally taste being emotionally seen without judgment, you keep fighting to keep it. Even if deep down you know that the container, the relationship, isn't sustainable. You didn't lose the soft version of yourself. You just haven't felt safe enough to reintroduce her. And that's what I had to sit with. Let's be real. Some people make it feel easy to be soft, easy to breathe, easy to rest. But here's where we get shit twisted. Just because it felt easy with them doesn't mean you aren't able to only have that version of yourself in that type of space. That version of you could exist anywhere else. It's just about learning to separate the two in terms of how you feel with the person and who you are in that moment. What if you didn't lose her? What if she's just been hiding, waiting for another safe space to step into? You don't have to stay tied to a memory in order to protect that part of you. The softness, the openness, that sense of peace, it's not gone. It's just been guarded. Because what you really need isn't them. It's the reminder that you're actually still there, still her. Even if life has been hard. Even if you have built the highest of fucking walls so no one could fucking reach you. You're still her. You're still soft. And the mission now is not to go back. It's to create a new space where that version of you can breathe again, can exist with better boundaries, with better discernment, with better love. So next time you catch yourself missing what was, ask yourself, what do I need to feel that way right now? And who in my life has the capacity to meet me there? So I want you to reflect. What version of you came alive in that relationship? When was the last time you felt emotionally safe? Do you believe you deserve to feel like that again consistently without any extra chaos. Because love is not supposed to be hard. And it's okay to miss what felt good, but not to confuse emotional connection with emotional compatibility. So I'll leave you with the affirmation of the day. I honor the version of me that felt safe enough to be soft. And I release the belief that I'll never feel like that again, because that peace came from within me and I'm allowed to return to it again and again. You just made it through another episode of Vibes and Affirmations. If this one hit home, text this episode to someone you know has been holding on to something that already let go of them. And remember, you're not hard to love. You're not too emotional. You're allowed to be held without having to fall apart first. Follow the pod, rate it, drop your thoughts and your comments, send me your listening letters or your voice notes. I would love to hear them for the next episode. You already know this is Vibes and Affirmations, and baby, it was good to speak to y'all again. Stay solid and keep vibing.